Okay. Welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's regular meeting for Tuesday. I think today is, let's just check real quick. June 15th. I have a few meeting announcements. Council will continue to meet virtually until further notice. All meetings will be cablecast on the City Channel and live streamed on the City Channel Pittsburgh YouTube channel. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you. As we join from our remote locations, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. That brings us on to our next order of business, which is proclamations. And we have a proclamation from Councilman Kraus.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number,
Thank you.
Bill number
Sorry.
1622. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh recognizes and embraces the efforts of the Children's Sickle Cell Foundation and their commitment to bringing quality programs to the children, adults, and families that are affected by sickle cell disease. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, June 19th, 2021, to be Shine the Light on Sickle Cell World Sickle Cell Awareness Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
You've heard the reading. Is there any discussion on the proclamation?
Motion to approve.
Second? Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Councilman Kraus, is there any discussion on the proclamation?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I believe we have invited guests with us this morning. Is Andrea Matthews with us?
No, Andrea is unavailable, but this is Michael Matthews.
Michael, good morning. How nice to see you. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I would just like to thank you, Bruce and Teresa. We go back a long ways in the council's support. As we're about to turn 20 years old, the Children's Sickle Cell Foundation, and we continue to serve about 500 families here in Western Pennsylvania. And we just really, really appreciate all of you guys' support over the past few years. And I would just like to recognize a couple of partners, UPMC, of course, University of Pittsburgh, the Brashear Association, and the Pennsylvania Department of Health, which are just to name a few, 4 or 5 of our 50 partners that we have. And we couldn't do this great work for our families without your support and, of course, our partnerships. So thank you very much.
Good. Michael, thank you. And thanks for being here this morning. The Children's Sickle Cell Foundation, founded now 20 years ago, does amazing work throughout the area and beyond. And we would be remiss in not taking a moment to recognize the commitment and the work and the success that the organization has had under the leadership of Michael and Andrea Matthews. And so we just appreciate you being here with us this morning. If other members have any comment, you're welcome to make it. And
I would just add
Sure.
that I appreciate all the work that you've done, and we have gone back a lot of years prior to prior to my time on council. So I just want to thank you for all the work that you do that is so worthwhile, and happy to support anything that you do.
You're welcome, and thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Madam President. Michael, thank you. It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye, Michael.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Councilman. And the next order of business would be the will of council for myself. Could you read it in its entirety, please? And we also are joined by President of the Allegheny County Fayette Labor Council, Mr. Darren Kelly. So I'll get him on the line as well, so he can
Good
speak.
morning, Darren.
Good morning, everybody.
Good.
Good morning.
Good to
How are
see
you?
Good.
Council President presents Bill number 1621. Whereas the historic Sheridan Station Square, which has been the host of numerous union banquets and other events, has hired an out-of-state non-union contractors to do construction work at the facility. And whereas, in addition, it was discovered that the hotel was illegally and dangerously working without the required permits from the city of Pittsburgh. And whereas the city of Pittsburgh Department of Permits, Licensing, and Inspections has charged Sheridan Station Square with 3 violations and an immediate stop work order, which has been ignored by the hotel and its contractors. And whereas refusing to work without proper permits is potentially putting the workers in danger and could have the potential of harming future patrons if the work was not done properly. And now therefore be it resolved that the council of the city of Pittsburgh does hereby express its concern about acceptable business practices being ignored by Sheridan Station Square management and support our local unions. And be it further resolved that a copy of this will of council shall be presented to the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh.
Can I have a
Motion.
motion to approve in a second?
Motion to approve.
A
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The will of council is approved. And I'm going to just say, I'm very thankful to the unions and to Steve Mazza and President Kelly for bringing this to our attention. I'm so sad that this is in our district, in District 2. It just borders Councilman Krause's district. And I know that the two of us take a lot of pride in Station Square and the things that we do there. But this was so disheartening to us, and for many reasons, including that we host and fund our seniors breakfast there every year and some other
Yep.
events for the city. And so I know the unions do some things. So I'm going to turn this over to President Kelly and then members for comment. President Kelly.
Thank you, Madam President. I had lost my connection here, but I'm going right back on. Thank you so much. This is a extremely troubling situation. In my time as president, and to be honest with you, my time being involved with this movement, I've never seen such lack of just disregard of policies that are put forward to protect people. And it is heartbreaking that this is the Sheridan Station Square, somewhere that we all consider our home. Many of you have been at functions. This started off as a routine, what we would consider labor dispute, but it has blossomed into something so much darker. And I'd like to first thank PLI, who were immediately responded to this situation because the seriousness of the nature, and immediately issued a stop work order. This was not, and there is zero debate that there was demolition happening in an occupied hotel in the middle of the city of Pittsburgh with hundreds and hundreds of rooms. This was not basic trim work. This was demolition. They immediately issued a stop work order, as well as the Allegheny County Health Department is now involved because there was no testing done and there was no plumbing test done for the test for asbestos. Now, I cannot answer you what position that the management of the Sheridan Station Square has on this, but it is undisputed that there was work being done. These are systems that are put in place to keep workers safe, to keep occupants safe, and a landmark like the Sheridan Station Square knows better, and we're extremely disappointed. And I thank you so much for clearly bringing this to attention.
Thank you. And thank you very much for all your work on this. I'm going to open it up to members. I think they all would probably have something to say.
Yeah, Madam President.
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Thank you. Darren, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm sorry, I'm going back on Zoom for you here. I apologize. Go ahead.
That's okay. It's good to see you. And thank you for being here. And I think it's important at times like this, when we are struggling with adversity, to recognize leadership like yourself that's in place that will help to galvanize us and unionize us, so to speak, to bring us together for common cause to fight for the good. And I especially liked your remarks in that not only does this protect the hotel guest, it protects the workers, and it protects the public at large. Who wants to be housed in a building that was done with substandard non-union labor? That's the last thing that we want to see. And so I just want to recognize again your leadership. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, galvanizing us together as a council to collectively petition for this to stop and stop immediately, and to correct the irregularities that are taking place on this construction site, and to respect the will of not just this council, but the people of the city of Pittsburgh, to make certain that these projects are indeed done with union labor according to the specifications that we have all agreed upon as citizens and residents of the city. So thank you, Derek.
If I may, thank you. Thank you, sir, and always for your support. And, I think the one thing that our council has always stood for, our labor council, is that we're not just about supporting jobs. We're part of our community. We're proud of it. And I'm a proud city of Pittsburgh firefighter. And I take the safety of the men and women of this city and the men and women that are in that building very seriously. And I have not cared for the callous approach that this hotel has taken. And I believe we all have a duty to keep every human being safe. And I cannot be, thankful enough to the controller, city controller, to PLI, to the who have really, because it's becoming an issue that if you're willing to take people's safety, and it could be as simple as a permit mix-up, that's fine. But this was issued for a reason. This is not a labor issue. This was a disregard of policies established by this great city that have been ignored. And I think the biggest thing with the controller is that if you're willing to do something like this, what else is happening? Yeah. And I applaud the controller's office for also getting involved with this, and the Allegheny County Health Department. And I'm going to Harrisburg in the morning to speak to our delegation about this as well. And I thank you so much. And I ask that a copy of this World Council be sent to the Sheridan as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Darren.
Any other members? Councilman Coghill.
Yes, thank you. Welcome, Darren. Good to see you again, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Great to see you.
And, first and foremost, thank you for fighting for the men and women in the building trades and the middle-class jobs that we have in the city of Pittsburgh. And we have such a strong base, and you've done such a great job, Darren. And this is just one more example of it. And safety guidelines aside, on top of that, I find when a developer brings in outside workers or doesn't use our trades and our unions to build, they often use outside workers, people from out of town. So safety guidelines aside, which is the most important thing, but economically, we want this money. We want people who work here and live here to make this money to build. Anybody who's building, any developer who's building in Pittsburgh, for me, and you know this about me, Darren, if you're not using our local unions, then, you're not welcome. So I was particularly, saddened to hear about, the Sheridan, because, the last 8 or 10 years that I can remember, you've been holding the Allegheny County Labor Council banquet there, and we pack, I don't know how many people you pack in there, 400 or 500 people.
Yeah.
So, I imagine we'll be looking for a new place, and I'm fine with that. Give you some suggestions on that if you'd like, but no, I just wanted to say thank you, Darren. Thank you for fighting for the building trades and the middle class workers here in Pittsburgh, and it's very important work that you do, and we appreciate it.
And thank you, sir. And the contractor is G&I Contracting out of Orlando, Florida. So they're not using local work. And exactly. And what I'm so proud of with this council is that and this was less than a 24-hour notice, we had 50 members there, and they were from every sector of organized labor. Our teachers, our firefighters, our UFCW members, they clearly make it known that we're going to protect those employees in that building. Most importantly, We will protect those internal employees that let this happen, but we have a duty as organized labor to protect the residents and let them know what's happening. Thank you. And thank you as always, sir. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Darren.
Thank you. Any other members? Okay, I see.
Madam
no-
President.
I'm sorry, Councilman Wilson.
Yeah, I just wanted
Stay on
to,
the Computer here, so.
sorry, I'm getting used to the digital hand raise here. So I just want to say thanks to Darren and thanks for all your efforts to bring this to our attention. You know, when I got in office, I had the opportunity to visit some of the training centers and to see that all the health and safety that go into the training of union workers. That alone is so important to use that type of workforce in these developments. But more so, it's very troubling to learn that, we talk about how we need to, fix PLI. PLI is slow in terms of permits. Like, everyone has a comment in terms of when they need their permit. But here we have a very large entity, a corporation like the Sheridan, like openly abusing the system. They are the ones that should be showing the way in terms of how it's done in Pittsburgh. They've been here. They should know how it's done. And we expect much more from them. We need to help our small businesses to understand how PLI works. This should be, no problem. So to put, the residents or the people that are staying there, and then also the workers at risk is very troublesome. And I appreciate all the work that you and your union brothers and sisters are doing to keep people safe.
And thank you, Councilman. And we did see your responses to this. And thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. We do expect more from a corporation like the Sheridan, who is now part of Marriott as well, one of the biggest hotel chains in the world. This is a Pittsburgh icon. It is synonymous with, what we call the USX Towers and PPG buildings. When people come to Pittsburgh, we promoted this hotel from day one. We considered this part of our family, and that's why everyone's so united. There's been over probably 50 calls to the management and letters from our national unions that this is, people come to Pittsburgh a lot more than I think that the management realized for business. And we're very disappointed, and thank you for all your support that you gave us on this as well.
Thank you. Any other members? Councilwoman
President.
Strasburger.
Thank
Yes.
you. Darren, thank you so much for being here today and all that you do. Just don't want to add on too much to what's already been said, but two observations. One, as was stated, but I really want to say it again. This is, sometimes when you see issues like this, sometimes it's just that. It's just a problem, and that's that. But most often it's a sign that there are deeper problems and deeper issues at play. And that's why I'm so grateful that you and that you really are the council is shining a light on this with the help of City PLI and with others, but that you are shining a light on this, because hopefully this not only gets to this issue, but they continue to know that they're being watched and that a light is being shined on them for all the other problems that might be underneath this, if this is really truly scratching the surface. The second thing I'd like to say is just my hat is off to you for maintaining this culture of togetherness and everybody supporting one another. The fact that your Allegheny Fayette Labor Council came together from all sorts of different trades and all different unions to support the workers here, that really shows me that you're in the right position. You're cultivating this culture of that. So hats off to you and to everyone who was part of that effort as well.
And thank you. And when we went down there Friday, and it was very specific, we will stay on the sidewalk. We will not let this protest overshadow the safety of the men and women in this city that we are sworn to protect, as not just as public safety, but this labor community. We're not just workers. We're part of our community. We're proud of it. There's an injustice going on, and it is our duty to bring it out. And thank goodness we have just a strong people first council like yourselves. And this is something that it really, on a personal note, I'm heartbroken, as are a lot of you, because of the loyalty that all of us have, as residents of the city of Pittsburgh, have shown. And we appreciate, and you're right, as we peeled this onion back, the sadder it was. And we demand more of a company like that. And thank you I did see your response as well, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other members? Seeing no other members, I will add that we will definitely send a copy of this to the Sheridan. And I actually asked for that to be done yesterday, so it must be a little error, but we'll make sure we take care of that. And I also want to acknowledge that I was actually in Dan Gilman's office when he was getting phone calls about this, and his reaction was quick and swift and immediate. And I do want to thank Director Kinter, because I give her a hard time on a lot of things, but she responded immediately and firmly. And so I just really appreciate her response as well. But thank you all, Darren, for everything that you do and for bringing this to our attention and allowing us to be part of this fight for the city of Pittsburgh. This is not just about unions. This is not just about Station Square. This is about Pittsburgh, and this is what Pittsburgh is about. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to our next order of business, which is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before city council. Profanity and threats will not be permitted. May we have the first speaker, please, Madam Clerk?
The first speaker is Marcia Bands, followed by Celeste Scott.
Thank you.
Good day. Yeah, my name is Marcia Bandies and I live in Squirrel Hill. And I'm here today in support of making the inclusionary zoning overlay district in Lawrenceville permanent. I'm also here today to ask that once this is passed, that you immediately start on an expanded version. Inclusionary zoning is a tool that I would like to see used citywide. We need to build affordable housing into the very fabric of our city's revitalization. With a shortage of affordable housing of over 20,000 units at the lowest incomes, Pittsburgh should also require that 15% of all units of 20 or more be made affordable. And there should be no 30 or 35-year limit. People who have lived somewhere should not be booted out due to an arbitrary timetable decided upon between a developer and a government, with no say by the tenant, just because they were too poor to pay market rate for a unit. I recognize that you can't increase the statewide minimum wage, but we will never grow Pittsburgh if we don't provide affordable housing for our lowest income citizens. Action is needed for Pittsburgh to grow, and the benefits of revitalization are shared with everyone. So in addition to land trusts, land banks, and what's being done today, if you haven't already, I'm asking you to educate yourselves on European-style social housing and approaches similar to the FHA finance mortgage. For the
Good, my friend, doing a city council. I'm sorry. How are you?
Excuse me?
President Kelly.
Housing approaches similar to the FHA finance mortgage for the Belmar Cooperative, which, when paid off, resulted in home ownership. Pittsburgh may have to put its own spin on ideas from other locations, but we must start. And my last request is to remember families. Most of what is being allocated for low-income affordable housing now is for senior citizens and young adults. We have many single-parent families. It's families that will fill schools and contribute to a strong sense of community. When singles and couples move on, families stay. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Next speaker is Celeste Scott, followed by Althea Sims.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Celeste Scott, and I'm the Housing Justice Organizer for Pittsburgh United. Pittsburgh United is a coalition of community, labor, faith, and environmental organizations committed to advancing the vision of a community and economy that works for all people. Pittsburgh is at a critical moment. We have a unique opportunity to be a national leader, not just in terms of economic revival, to equitable development that puts people first. Creating and preserving affordability is a critical issue. I have personal experience. While I don't currently live in Lawrenceville, I used to until I was priced out of the neighborhood. I now live in the borough of Homestead. Through my work at Pittsburgh United and our partnership with Lawrenceville United and their housing advocacy efforts, I've become reacquainted with the neighborhood of Lawrenceville, which is a good example of why affordability should be part of any neighborhood improvement strategy. This policy being in place permanently could have allowed my family to stay in the place we've called home. In closing, I would just like to thank Council for making the step today to make the interim planning overlay district permanent and also asking for the expansion of the iPod to be citywide. Please do the right thing and vote yes today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Alethea Sims.
Is Alethea Sims on the phone?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alethea Sims. I'm the president of the Coalition of Organized Residents of East Liberty, a lifelong resident of the 9th Council District. I'm going to join my voices with many that you'll hear this morning in favor of making the inclusionary zoning permanent in Lawrenceville. I want to say that I'm very jealous that Lawrenceville got the inclusionary zoning. As someone who lived through East Liberty's gentrification, seeing apartment buildings that are put up that no one I know of can afford, I think that mandatory inclusionary zoning should be not only a neighborhood-wide, a city-wide, but a county-wide mandate. So no one will ever, stop it, no one will ever be priced out of the neighborhood they choose to live in again. That is a disgrace for any society. There should be housing affordable for everyone, from the greatest to the least citizen. Thank you.
Thank you. And that exhausts our list of registered speakers. And that moves us on to our next order of business, which will be the presentation of papers. Councilman Reverend Ricky Burgess, Chair of Urban Recreation.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you. Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning.
And then Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Works.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 1597, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's multi-module transportation program to provide funding for the construction of the Davis Avenue pedestrian bridge and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $500,000. Bill number 1598, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's multi-module transportation program for sidewalk improvements to Irvine Street in the Hazelwood neighborhood and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $200,000. Bill number 1599, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Independent Enterprises, Inc. in the amount of $29,399 for restoration work on McGee Street. Bill number 1600, resolution granting unto Mary Talamio, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct and maintain and use at their own cost and expense to replace an existing entrance ramp with a new ADA compliant entrance ramp and landing at 4055 Liberty Avenue in the 9th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 1601, resolution granting unto Charles Dees, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense a new ADA compliant entrance ramp at 4748 Liberty Avenue in the 8th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 1602, resolution granting unto Northside Associates, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to reconstruct a set of existing entry steps for a group of townhouses at 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 22 Strauss Street in the 25th Ward and the 24th, 26th, 28th, and 30th Strauss Street in the 26th Ward, 6th Council District. Bill number 1603, resolution granting unto McKnight Bank Tower LLC, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to install 2 new projecting signs onto an existing building at 307 4th Avenue in the 1st Ward, 6th Council District. Bill number 1604, resolution granting unto HRLP 4th Avenue LLC, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to install a new projecting sign onto an existing building at 2 PPG Place in the 5th Ward, 1st Council District. Bill number 1605, resolution authorizing the city to enter into a preservation agreement with the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh. Bill number 1606, resolution further amending resolution number 492, which authorized the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement between the city and Renaissance 3 Architects for the professional architectural services for Robert E. Williams Community Building reconstruction and design documents at a cost not to exceed $321,296.08 for professional services by increasing the total allocation to $83,953.63.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs.
I'm sorry, Madam President. I believe there was a
Oh, I
motion to
apologize.
waive Rule 8 on 1601.
Yeah, a motion, Councilman Calgo, I apologize. Do you have a motion to waive the rules of council for Bill 1601?
Sure. Motion to waive the rules of council for Bill 1601.
Second.
And we have a motion, we second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The bill will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Now, Councilwoman Gross, thank you.
Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilman Gross presents Bill number 1607, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for Gladestone residents at 327 Hazelwood Avenue.
Thank you. Councilman Kraus, Chair of Human Resources.
Morning, Madam President. No new papers.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law.
Good morning. No new papers.
Thank you, Councilman. Good morning. Councilman O'Connor, Chair of Public Safety Services.
Sorry, my mistake. Good morning. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. Good morning.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1619, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety on behalf of the city to enter into a professional services agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks, Inc. for the display of a fireworks show in conjunction with the City of Pittsburgh's 4th of July festivities at an amount not to exceed $80,000.
Thank you.
Motion. Oh, sorry. Motion to waive the rules so we can get this bill on tomorrow's agenda.
Yes.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. Any discussion? I'll just say I'm excited to see it happen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The bill will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
Good morning, Madam President. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Councilwoman Strasburger, presents Bill number 1608, resolution providing for the issuing of a warrant in favor of Ceridian HCH Inc. in an amount of $8,960 for professional software support hours provided to the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service. Bill number 1609, resolution amending resolution number 392, which authorized the city to extend a professional services agreement with STR Grants LLC for software services relating to the eProperties Plus profiling system by a term of 1 year and an additional cost not to exceed $35,226.30. Bill number 1610, resolution amending resolution number 475, which provided for a professional services agreement with NCR Corporation to provide citywide credit, debit, and e-check payment services for the collection of various programs and permitting fees for the city by exercising the option to extend the term of the agreement for 3 years at no additional cost. Bill number 1611, resolution providing for the mayor and the acting director of the Department of Public Works to enter into a professional services agreement with Root Smart Technologies, Inc., which provides trash and recycling routing optimization for one, a software update subscription to Root Smart software, including a maintenance fee, covering troubleshooting and technical assistance at an annual cost not to exceed $7,000, total not to exceed $28,000 for initial contract year with 3 renewal option years. And 2, end-user training on the best use of Root Smart software, a 7-day course to be delivered remotely at a cost not to exceed $10,500 for 2021 only.
Thank you. And Councilman, you have a motion to waive the rules of council for Bill 1608. Councilwoman Strasburger.
My apologies. Yes, motion to waive the rules of council
Thank
so
you.
that 1608 appears on tomorrow's agenda.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Thank you, Councilwoman. And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 1612, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the East Liberty Mellon Bank, located at 6112 Penn Avenue in East Liberty, 8th Ward. The owner's agent is opposed to the nomination. Bill number 1613, ordinance accepting a new street name, Mary Peck Bond Place, in the 12th Ward, as per recommendation by the City of Pittsburgh Addressing Committee. The following street name was approved by CPAC in June of 2021. The name listed in this ordinance shall be made official in accordance with the Pittsburgh Code, Title 4, Public Places and Property, Chapter 420, Uniform Street Naming and Addressing. Bill number 1614, ordinance accepting the name change of a portion of University Drive A and University Drive B to a new street name, Damon Drive, and accepted the name change of a portion of University Drive C and a portion of University Drive A to a new street name, Erdeback Drive, in the 4th Ward of the city, as per recommendation by the City of Pittsburgh Addressing Committee. The following street names were approved by CPAC in May of 2021. The names listed in this ordinance shall be named official in accordance with the Pittsburgh Code Title 4 Public Places and Property, Chapter 420, Uniform Street Naming and Addressing. Bill number 1615, ordinance accepting a new street name, Bell Tower Lane, in the 9th Ward of the city, as per recommendation by CPAC. The following street name was approved in May of 2021. The name listed in this ordinance shall be made official in accordance with the Pittsburgh Code Title 4 Public Places and Property, Chapter 420, Uniform Street Naming and Addressing. Bill number 1616, resolution further amending resolution number 840, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2020 Capital Budget and the 2020 CDBG Program and the 2020 through 2025 Capital Improvement Program, so as to reduce Northside Cultural Collaborative by $10,000, and increase North Side Cultural Collaborative and North Side North Shore Chamber of Commerce by $10,000, and authorize a subsequent agreement.
Thank you. And then myself, Chair of Hearings, I have two sponsored bills.
Council President Kell Smith presents Bill number 1587, resolution further amending and supplementing Resolution 539, which authorized the mayor, city clerk, and/or director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into a contract with Granicus Inc. for software upgrades, server hosting services, and annual maintenance of Ledger Star, agenda management, and video streaming in order to extend the contract an additional 12 months for an additional cost of $58,033.36. Bill number 1620, resolution further amending resolution number 797, entitled Adopting and Approving the 2018 Capital Budget, the 2018 CDBG Program, and the 2018 through 2023 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Carolee Recreation Center demolition and reconstruction by $928,567 and increasing remediation of condemned buildings by $858,567 and tree planting by $70,000. Bill
Can
number,
I have,
okay, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. Do you have another bill? I apologize.
The last two are communications, so we'll take them
Okay.
separately.
And so then, can I have a motion to waive the rules of council for, I can't see what number it's,
Bill 1620.
16, which one is it?
Bill 1620.
1620. I apologize.
So moved.
Motion,
I'll-
second.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
I'm gonna save my comments for tomorrow.
Okay, any discussion? And the bill will be on to the standing committee agenda.
All in favor?
And the two communications,
Bill 1617, communication from Jennifer Olzinger, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting a $2,500 donation from Duquesne University in the form of pressure washing services for the city-owned Diamond parking lot. Bill number 1618, communication from Jennifer Olzinger, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting acting pay approval for Michael Knight per the acting pay policy revised in June of 2018.
can we have a motion to read, receive, and file?
so moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, they're approved. And now we'll move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Madam Clerk, did we vote on that waiver of council?
We got a motion and a second, but we didn't get a
We
voice.
didn't vote. Can we,
for it.
so can we have that vote all in favor of the waiver of council for the bill under my committee? I can't remember the number.
Is that 1620, Madam President?
Thank you, thank you.
Is that 1620?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Aye.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The bill will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Thank you, Madam Clerk, and thank you, everyone. And now we're moving on to any unfinished business or any unfinished business before council.
Madam President,
Yes,
I wanted to request if we could waive the rule of 1616, Rule 8, so that it appears on tomorrow's agenda. It's a technical change, and I'd like to move it along as fast as we can so that the community can have the refund.
thank you.
I'll
We have a
second.
motion, we have a second. We have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The
Thank
bill
you.
will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Thank you, Councilman. Any further unfinished business? Seeing none, the next order of business is reports of committee for final action. Councilman Lavelle, Committee on Finance and Law.
Madam President,
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman LaBelle presents Bill number 1591, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for June 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1548, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Office of Management and Budget to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection's Alternative Fuels Incentive Grant Program to purchase 8 electric Chevy Bolts and an all-electric bucket truck to be added to the city's fleet and not to exceed $160,000. Bill number 1549, resolution further amending resolution number 675 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2009 Capital Budget and the 2009 CDBG Program and approving the 2009 through the 2013 Capital Improvement Program by removing unencumbered funds from projects pending closure pursuant to Chapter 218 of the City Code. Bill number 1550, resolution further amending resolution number 855 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2012 Capital Budget, the 2012 CDBG Program, and approving the 2012 through the 2017 Capital Improvement Program by removing unencumbered funds from projects pending closure pursuant to Chapter 218 of the City Code. Bill number 1551, resolution further amending resolution number 772 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2013 Capital Budget and the 2013 CDBG Program and approving the 2013 through the 2018 Capital Improvement Program by removing unencumbered funds from projects pending closure pursuant to Chapter 218 of the City Code. Bill number 1552, resolution further amending resolution number 772 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2017 Capital Budget and the 2017 CDBG Program, approving the 2017 through 2022 Capital Improvement Program by removing unencumbered funds from projects pending closure pursuant to Chapter 218 of the City Code. Bill number 1553, resolution further amending resolution number 797 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2018 Capital Budget, the 2018 CDBG Program, and the 2018 through 2023 Capital Improvement Program by removing unencumbered funds from projects pending closure pursuant to Chapter 218 of the City Code. Bill number 1554, resolution further amending resolution number 647 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2021 Capital Budget and the 2021 CDBG Program, the 2021 through 2026 Capital Improvement Program by reappropriating funds closed due to the requirements of the Chapter 2218 of the City Code. Bill number 1555, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement with GovLive doing business as Procure Now to purchase a subscription service for solicitation, contract, and vendor management services, as well as training for OMB staff at a cost not to exceed $235,000.
Please hold on one moment. I think we have some technical difficulties. I'm talking to David Finer right now. I apologize. Our David Finer, who does our meetings, lost his internet and he wasn't sure if we were all connected. Are we still all on? Can members hear me? Just shake your head. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're going to continue. And if there's any difficulties or technical difficulties, he'll address those with his staff. He's working on it right now. So I apologize if anybody's locked out of the meeting. He said he thought we were all locked out, but I could still hear Madam Clerk. And so that's why I want to make sure.
Yeah, we're all on.
He's doing a great job of getting us through this entire year with this technology. Everyone is. Thank you all. Okay, that was Councilman Lavalle's bills. And so now we'll move. I'm sorry. You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are ready for final action. All in favor of the passage will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilman Corey O'Connor, Committee on Public Safety Services.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1592, report of the Committee on Public Safety Services for June 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1556, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of public safety to enter into data sharing agreement with the RAD Corporation in Allegheny County, which shall be at no cost to the city. Bill number 1557, resolution authorizing the city's mayor and director of public safety to enter into relevant agreements with Specialized Professional Services, Inc. for hazardous material emergency response equipment and related training services in regards to operation of the city's hazardous materials flare response system in an amount not to exceed $54,257. Bill number 1558, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of public safety on behalf of the city to enter into a commodities agreement for a 3-year term with Teleflex LLC for the purchase of intraserous needles and related supplies.
You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of their passage will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilman Anthony Coghill, Committee on Public Works.
Madam President?
Thank you, Councilman.
Sure.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 1593, report of the Committee on Public Works for January 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1543, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Office of the State Fire Commissioner to install diesel exhaust apparatus in multiple emergency medical services stations, and further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $8,993.20. Bill number 1575, resolution authorizing the transfer by the city to Allegheny County certain temporary construction easement rights on certain property within the 2nd, 22nd, and 23rd wards of the city in cooperation with an Allegheny County construction project in and around the Roberto Clemente Bridge.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All those in favor will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilman Bobby Wilson, Committee on Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 1594, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for June 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1414, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code Title 9 Zoning Article 3, Overlay Zoning District Chapter 907, Development Overlay Districts, removing subsection 90702K for iPod 6, Inclusionary Housing Overlay District, and creating 70904A, Inclusionary Housing Overlay District. Bill number 1560, resolution further amending resolution number 863, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2019 Capital Budget and the 2019 CDBG Program and the 2019 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program so as to reduce Birmingham Foundation and Save a Life Today Pittsburgh by $8,000 and increase Birmingham Foundation and Brashear Association by $8,000 and authorize a subsequent agreement.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills?
Madam
Seeing none, but
Madam
yes,
May I
Councilwoman
just
Gross.
get Some final words,
Yeah.
I want to thank all councils for their unanimous support of inclusionary zoning last week at standing committee, but also for the last 2 years of supporting this pilot project. And just acknowledge one more time, though you've heard me thank them before, the people of Lawrenceville for pushing this forward and being the first and very organized on the ground and building consensus throughout the neighborhood for this policy, which created nearly 50 units of affordable housing, even during the coronavirus economic downturn. And I will mention once again that I have formal requests from both Bloomfield and Polish Hill to discuss how they can be included in the inclusionary zoning overlay. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other members? I'm just going to congratulate Councilwoman Gross because she has worked really hard on this. And so I want to congratulate you. But I do want to say that I think when we hear people coming and talking about what we should be doing citywide, and I don't hear anybody, I don't see large numbers of people coming from anyone's district. I see a lot of people coming from organizations. I think that it's time for us to pause and talk about what we think is best for the entire city. Individual, should we address it individually or should we just address it as a citywide issue? And I do think that this was really important for Lawrenceville, and I think it's probably late. It probably should have, unfortunately, would have been great if we had it done sooner. But I do think that Councilwoman Gross and the various departments in the city and your organizations did champion this whole effort. So I do want to congratulate you on your efforts and your work. So they finally have it done. Any other members? The bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. Congratulations, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Erica Strasburger, Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents Bill number 1595, report of the Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management for June 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1559, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the city to enter into a master service agreement with Crown Castle to provide internet connectivity to the city facilities as needed at a monthly utility fee.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. That moves us on to Councilwoman Gross, Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs.
Madam President.
Thank you. Good morning, Councilwoman.
Woman Gross presents Bill number 1596, report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for June 9th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1545, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for the CCAC Chalfant Hall renovations, 915 Ridge Avenue. Bill number 1546, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for 238, 240, and 242 East Jefferson Street in the 25th Ward. Bill number 1547, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official full facilities plan for parcel O2L42, Pittsburgh 15, at Duquesne University, College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, Mr.
Aye. Sorry.
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith, President.
Aye.
Ayes 9, no 0.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. That moves us on to motions and resolutions and meeting announcements. I have this afternoon at 1:30, Council's Park Task Force will meet. And Council, Madam Clerk, I don't know if you have the list of the members. Do you have that, Andy? Just so we can let the public know.
Yes, I think Reverend Burgess, Councilman Coghill, Councilwoman Gross, and Councilman O'Connor.
Okay, we'll be on that task force. And there's also the director of city parks and DPW, and I think a few others maybe. But just so people know that we have representation from all around the city. And tomorrow, and I want to thank you for that. And we also had a meeting, and I'll mention real quick as a meeting announcement of the tax collection task force, and Councilman Lavelle, if he wants to give a small update, can do that, but I think we're going to have a post agenda on that, so I don't know if we're going to have a large discussion today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, June 16th, council will meet for the standing committee meetings at 10 a.m. and that's chaired by Councilman Lavelle. Also tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 1465 as it relates to renaming the fountain at Allegheny Commons as the Patricia Regan Rooney Memorial Fountain. And Councilman Wilson, are you chairing that? Is that your district?
It is in my district. I can if you'd like me to.
Yeah, it's up to you. We can discuss it later, but if you don't do it, one of us will be chairing that meeting tomorrow.
Okay, let's discuss.
Okay. To register for tomorrow's council meeting and public hearing, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meetings page by 9 a.m. for the meeting and by 11 a.m. for the hearing. You may also register by calling 412-255-2138. Also, city residents and stakeholders are invited to share their input on the city's 2022 operating and capital budgets by taking surveys either online at www.engage.pittsburghpa.gov/2022 budgets or by calling 311, which sounds a lot easier. The capital budget survey is open through June 18th, 2021, and the 2022 operating budget survey is open through July 11th, 2021. Is there anything for members? Seeing none, can I have a motion to excuse any absent members, approve the minutes, and to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
And can I just say before we hang up, I would just suggest everybody log off because David Finer, I don't know if he has connection yet, and we can't just anticipate that he's going to log us off. So please make sure you take the time to log off. Thank you, everyone. Meeting's adjourned.